What if Baker came and signed here as a backup?
No, hell no. We don't need that right now.
What's the difference?
We don't.
This is number 2.
No, we're good. No drama, none of that stuff.
What drama? He has zero drama in L.A., so we can't say drama. He has zero drama in L.A. It's zero drama from Baker in L.A.
We ain't doing that.
What's wrong? You nervous about it?
I'm not no, hell no. I'm the opposite of it.
But wouldn't he make if Kenny were to go down? Because Kenny's missed time this year already, right?
Yeah.
From injuries. At least you would have another guy that would make you feel confident, like when Mitch went out there.
He would be a high-end backup, but no.
So you don't want a high-end backup?
It's just not a vibe. It's not a vibe.
So you don't like a high-end backup? What's the vibe? What's the vibe from Baker? Baker's just like a team guy. He headbutts his teammates, man. He cheers them on. He runs down the field. He celebrates them.
I'd consider Mason Rudolph a high-end backup. I don't think he's going to want to come back here, but I'd prefer that.
Even if it's a scenario where it's Baker, though? Baker got more pedigree,
Mason versus
more
Baker
proven.
You don't want a celebrity backup like that.
Oh, he's a celebrity?
I gotta give him
who's
credit.
the bigger celebrity, though? Would it be Baker or Kenny as the bigger celebrity in Pittsburgh?
Kenny.
That's what I'm saying. So he ain't even go with the celeb. We good.
Yeah, but Baker, we know who Baker is. He's got cachet.
He's the number 2 guy, though. He'll be low-key.
Yeah, I got to give him credit. He has been this year. But no, there's no reason for it.
There is a reason for it because we're going to potentially have a void at the number 2 and number 3 spot, or the 2 and 2A spot on our depth chart at quarterback, man.
Guy. It doesn't need to be it doesn't need to be Baker. It doesn't need to be Baker. He's a fine backup option. He could be a fine backup option for the Rams. It just
so if he's a fine backup option, why doesn't it work? Why?
It just doesn't work here, dude. You want a guy like he's thinking, and this is what I said earlier. I feel like Baker still believes he's that guy. I mean,
he
why
should,
he got to this point.
But it's nothing wrong with him believing like that.
No, but that's not. I just don't feel like that's the guy you really need as the backup to Kenny Pickett. Right? This is Kenny Pickett's team.
You don't think Baker understands that that's Matthew Stafford's team?
Yeah, but dude, there's a difference with.
What's the difference?
Stafford's more established in the league. Pickett coming off his rookie year.
But it's Kenny though.
I agree.
And he's in Pittsburgh.
I think Pickett's the franchise guy. So there's no reason for it, dude. I don't even you wouldn't even do it. You're just bringing it up. You're just trying to ruffle feathers.
We just talk about backup, so it don't matter how good he is if he's backup.
Are you bringing?
It doesn't
right
matter.
Now? You're Omar Khan.
I'm bringing Baker and I'm bringing Dobbs in. How about that?
Actually, Dobbs wouldn't be a terrible. Option.
So you want to bring Dobbs in, but you want to bring Baker in. So who's the better player, Baker or Dobbs? Who helps your team win more? If Kenny goes down, God forbid, and we needed to get out of it, who gives you more?
Dobbs will show me some stuff on Thursday Night Football.
Fair enough. Baker showed you something early on in his small sample size, too, on Thursday Night Football.
If you're asking me Baker versus Dobbs right now, Baker is the more accomplished player.
Yeah. And y'all know I love Dobbs. That is my dude right there, baby. That's my dude.
I think Dobbs would just be a better backup for our situation.
I feel like you say better when it's like less threatening.
I don't know if that's. I don't think it has to be threatening or not.
So if we're just talking talent and we're talking who helps you win a game, what's the hang up then?
Because we're talking backup,
right?
We're talking
specifically a backup. So when we're talking backup quarterbacks, you mean to tell me Baker isn't a better option than any of these other guys that you're naming as backups who have never even started for 16 plus games? You see what I mean? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
How are we talking here? Are we talking one game? Because I don't think it's that deep. If it's because that's what you're looking for in a backup. If your guy goes down for the whole season,
no,
you're in a different scenario.
Nick Foles scenario, Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz was there for the whole ride. Could you get me out of there for them last 4?
No one thought that with Nick Foles.
Yes, we did.
That was the biggest outlier scenario I've ever seen.
But we've seen it now, and we believe it. Yeah.
No, that was the biggest outlier scenario ever. I just don't think Baker would be. It's not a move we're gonna do. It's not a Steeler move. I don't think it would be.
Why is it a Steeler move? So it's not Steeler move to get
like Kenny
talent
Pickett's
to
the
be
guy.
better.
Baker has that alpha type mentality, whether he should or he shouldn't. This is what got him to this point. Like,
so you worried about the mentality?
Nah, it's just it's not wise.
We got the same mentality at receiver. We got George Pickens and Deontay Johnson both for alphas. They both have that number 1 receiver mentality, that dog in them that we love. We don't triple on that.
You get 3 or 4 receivers on the field at the same time. There's only one quarterback. It's a Pickett's team, man. This is Pickett's team, and he's proved that.
But no one said it wasn't. We just said Baker as the backup. It's a high-end backup. We say we want a high-end backup, a little bit more veteran option as a backup. There you go. High-end veteran. It's going to be cheap.
Dude, do you want him?
I just love hearing these reasons of why you don't want him. That's all. Yeah. Because every time you talk about like a reason why you don't want him and you'll name somebody that you potentially like do want, I'm just like, how's that better than this option though? Outside of just the threat. But I don't think it's really a threat. But your actions make it seem like it's a threat. That's all. Like
I think it's stupid. Like I think no matter what because Baker has been chill.
Yeah.
No matter what the reward could be for having Baker, I don't want any risk. Like it's just
okay.
I just want zero risk with Dobbs. Zero risk. Mason Rudolph. Zero risk.
But you also have the risk of what if Kenny were to go down, you being limited at quarterback.
Yeah, but this, in my opinion, this would go to the whole Tomlin like living your fears. You're not thinking that. Like,
fair enough.
You're thinking Pickett's our guy for next season.
So that's why you don't live in your fears, and you bring in a high end backup like Baker. Boom.
I think you got to be smart too.
You living in your fears, because you worried about what it became a distraction.
No, it's not. Yeah, I think it's just stupid too. Like you drafted Pickett as the first round guy. Just don't bring in another first overall pick. Want to hide? Like don't do that.
Is it Mitch Trubisky first rounder too?
Yeah, but dude, these are all different scenarios. They signed Mitch before we drafted Pickett. If anything, us drafting Pickett
but you said Mitch coming back though would be fine too, though, right?
I'm fine with that too.
So how does that work? Was Mitch a top 5 pick?
Yeah, this Mitch versus Baker is different. But dude, Baker has more history with this stuff of like ruffling feathers, and like Mitch had none of that with Chicago. Upstanding citizen up there, like never complained. Like it was a rocky road for him, but you didn't hear any drama coming from Mitch Trubisky. And you haven't heard that this year.
For sure, we ain't heard any from Baker either, though. Just remember that.
I got to give him credit this year. I will give him credit this year, but we have a history with him that, like I said, I just don't think any reward for a backup quarterback is worth that risk. It's almost like a general rule.
I'm just trying to figure out, if we haven't seen any of these things that people talk about, oh, he gonna be a distraction, he gonna trip out. It's like we've seen him at 2 other spots now. He ain't tripping Carolina where he had plenty of opportunity to trip there.
Here's the other thing though too. I mean, I know we're talking about a Baker versus Dobbs. Yeah, I think Baker,
because we're just looking at him
with the body of work.
Yeah, we're saying exclusively as a backup, not as a starter, as the backup.
But I mean, he hasn't done anything crazy with the Rams though.
And so as a backup, so we're talking about as a backup then.
But this is what I'm saying. Like I don't know why he's considered that much better of an option.
This is my question then. So this is my question then. If Baker Mayfield's name was anything else, if Baker Mayfield had any other name, would you feel that way still? If it wasn't Baker from Cleveland, if it was whoever else, but the exact same stat line, exact same team success and everything like that, would you still have that same stance on it?
Wait,
because talent-wise,
Baker.
Yeah, I'm saying like the name because
I can't separate.
Well, because it's the thing, you're hung up on personality, but then you make the argument for talent, and I think that is very different in terms of how we view Baker. If you want to give me the personality part, and that's the case for a Mason or a Dobbs, yeah. But if we're talking talent-wise, that's where I disagree. I don't think I don't think that what Mason and Dobbs have done talent-wise, or even have shown potential to do talent-wise, is in the same field as what Baker has shown that he can actually do, and with some of the moments that he has where he flashes like he can be a really, really good quarterback. That's all. But
sure, he is more out there, 100%.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, man.
But I'm just saying, like, if you
needed nothing wrong with him, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with being a backup, bro.
If you needed a game or two from Baker, Dobbs, or Mason next year, like, I don't know if there's that big of a difference at all. If you needed one game, now in the past, I'm with you because Baker has shown way more in that category. But just where Baker is right now in his career versus
where is he at though? Where is he at right now?
I don't know if it's that big of a difference.
Is Baker arrow pointed up or arrow pointed down right now since being in LA?
I mean, he was rock bottom, so yes, the arrow is pointing up.
So it's everything you need, bro. No. He's our backup, bro. Come on, man.
No.
He don't wear number 7.
No.
He be good, man.
I guess he's rock. Well, he's 17.
Do we have a 17? Do we have a
6 available? I don't know.
We can't do 6. Yeah.
No Baker. That ship is very much sailed.
Oh man, that's crazy.
You still haven't answered if you would do it.
That's crazy. If we're just talking about it as a backup, I don't hate it because I'm all for talent. I'm all for talent, and I don't mind a little bit of competition. I still think that Kenny beats it out, and it's fine, but I don't mind having players that are good. I don't fret or fear personalities because that's more of something that I feel gets blown out of proportion media-wise and fan-wise. As a guy who's been in a locker room with a lot of personalities, a lot of dudes that are a little bit more outspoken than others, some guys that are just, have weird vibes about them. When you're in that locker room, man, we don't think about that stuff. We're not tripping on that type of stuff because we got the common goal. And that's what we always say when people talk about like the distractions, like we don't view stuff as distractions. We don't even think of it like that until a media member or a fan says, hey man, is this distracting? We're like, huh? What? Bro, I didn't even think about that. So I don't look at Baker as, oh, he would be just this awful distraction. Man, we had Vic here when they were protesting outside. You think we looked at it as a distraction? Nah. We just like, bro, these people got a lot of time when they hand to protest every single day this man come to work. That's how we looked at it. When it was the national anthem without, it was like, all right, this is crazy, but hey, we still come to work today because we got to work. We got to get a job done. Whether we talking AB, good AB, bad AB, L Bell. Is L Bell beefing with this player or are we good? You know what I mean? Take it to the Buffalo, man. I got Stevie Johnson, a big personality, man. He very outspoken as well. I had a Marshawn Lynch in there as well. Are these people that people can say have been distractions or are distractions, stuff like that? And it's like, nah, when you're in the locker room, man, you're not thinking about that. So that's for me why I don't trip on Baker. I don't look at Baker as this like, oh man, it's such a distraction, because to me, I'm like, this is a dude that's competing. He's outspoken. He doesn't fit the quarterback mold of button up, say what you're supposed to say and not talk. He plays and talks like, like he one of the dudes, but he plays that position that's frowned upon. And I think that's part of why they talk about him and he has that narrative around him. So that's why for me, I'm like, yeah, I ain't tripping on it. I would have him here. He would back up because I think he's talented enough to be a dope number 2. And if he's my number 3, worst case scenario, I'm like, dude, my defense is seeing a dope first top tier quarterback at one point in time, in terms of like where he was drafted at, and a guy who's won in his league. So either way, I'm winning because I'm getting my guys getting quality looks versus it being some dude that has never done that in stadium before. That's just my thought process, though.